Denis Villeneuve made a film where the weapons feel like they could kill you through the screen. Sicario came out in 2015 and changed how people think about tactical filmmaking. The guns in this movie are so accurate that military advisors have used clips from it in actual training presentations. If you want to understand why this film hits different, stick around because we are breaking down every single firearm in this movie. From the opening raid in Arizona to the final tunnel sequence under the border, Sicario features over 20 distinct firearms across FBI agents, CIA operatives, Delta Force operators, Mexican federal police, and cartel gunmen. Each weapon was chosen to reflect the real-world equipment these groups actually carry in the field. We are going to cover every pistol, every submachine gun, every rifle, and every piece of heavy ordnance in this film. This is the complete Sicario arsenal breakdown. What makes Sicario stand apart from typical Hollywood action films comes down to three things. First, the production hired actual military and law enforcement consultants who demanded period and unit accurate loadouts for every character. Second, the armorers sourced real weapons whenever possible and only used airsoft replicas for specific non-firing scenes where safety was a concern. Third, the actors went through extensive weapons training to handle their firearms the way real operators would. Emily Blunt trained for months to handle her Glock the way an actual FBI agent would draw and fire under pressure. Benicio del Toro worked with former special operations personnel to nail the precise movements of someone who has spent years conducting high-risk operations in the field. The result is a film where you can pause any frame during a firefight and the gear checks out. FBI agents carry standard-issue sidearms. Delta Force operators have customized carbines with the exact optics and accessories those units actually use. Cartel members carry a mix of smuggled American firearms and Eastern European surplus weapons that reflect actual seizures along the border. This attention to detail creates an atmosphere where the violence feels dangerously real. Let us start with the FBI and SWAT loadouts. Kate Macer, played by Emily Blunt, carries a Glock 19 third generation as her primary sidearm throughout the film. This is a compact 9x19mm parabellum pistol with a standard capacity of 15+1 rounds. The Glock 19 has been in production since 1988 and remains one of the most common law enforcement sidearms in America today. You can identify the third-generation model by its small guide, rod, and accessory rail that allows for mounting weapon lights, or lasers. Kate uses this pistol during the border crossing shootout and aims it during the tense finale confrontation with Alejandro. Her partner, Reggie Wayne, carries an identical model in his duty holster. There is actually a small continuity issue here that firearms experts have pointed out. Many FBI field agents in 2015 carried the Glock 23 in .40 Smith & Wesson rather than the 9mm Glock 19. The production chose the 9mm version because it works better with blank ammunition for filming purposes. There is also a scene where Kate disassembles her Glock, and the way it comes apart on screen does not match how you would actually field strip one of these pistols in real life. The actual process involves removing the magazine, racking the slide, and pressing the takedown lever. For rifles, the FBI and SWAT teams carry M4A1, carbines chambered in 5.56 by 45mm NATO with 30-round Stanig magazines. These rifles appear with EO Tech 553 holographic sights, vertical foregrips, and Surefire M951 weapon lights. During the opening Chandler raid, you can see the SWAT team breaching with these carbines in a standard stack formation. A SWAT sniper provides overwatch with a Remington 700 PSS bolt-action rifle in .300 Winchester Magnum, fitted with a loopholed scope and Harris bipod. This combination has been the standard American police sniper configuration since the 1980s and remains effective at ranges beyond 1,000 yards. Now we get to the really interesting stuff. The CIA and Delta Force operators carry some seriously customized hardware that reflects real special operations preferences. Matt Graver, played by Josh Brolin, carries a Daniel Defense M4A1 with a 14.5-inch barrel. His rifle is fitted with a Magpul PMAG EOTECH 553 sight, Surefire M720V weapon light in flat dark earth finish, and a Tango down vertical grip. Daniel Defense has been supplying rifles to SOCOM since 2000, so this is an accurate representation of what a CIA ground branch officer might actually carry during field operations. Alejandro, played by Benicio del Toro, is the most interesting character from a firearms perspective because his weapons evolve throughout the story. His primary sidearm is a Glock 17 4th generation, which is the full-size version of the Glock platform with a 17+1 capacity. The 4th generation features improved ergonomics with textured grips and a larger dual recoil spring that reduces felt recoil. He uses this pistol during the abduction scenes and when confronting cartel members on the street. Some viewers have debated whether this is actually a Glock 22 and 40 caliber, but close examination of the bore in high-definition frames confirms it is the 9mm variant. For the climactic confrontation at the Alarcon compound, Alejandro switches to a suppressed Heckler & Koch Mark 23. This is a massive pistol chambered in 45 ACP with a 12+1 capacity. The Mark 23 was developed in 1991 specifically for the U.S. Special Operations Command Offensive Handgun Weapon System program. With its suppressor attached, the weapon measures 16 inches long. You can distinguish it from the similar-looking HKUSP by the threaded hole in the trigger guard designed for a laser aiming module. The Mark 23 is accurate out to 50 meters, and the suppressor reduces the report to around 130 decibels, which is about as loud as a jackhammer, but quiet enough to avoid alerting people in adjacent rooms. This is the gun Alejandro uses in the dinner table scene, one of the most disturbing moments in modern cinema. For submachine guns, Alejandro carries a Heckler & Koch MP 5A3 with a Gemtech suppressor, Knight's Armament Company railed handguards, and an aim-point red dot sight. The MP5 has been the gold standard for close quarters combat since Heckler & Koch introduced it in Germany in 1966. Its roller-delayed blowback operating system provides exceptional accuracy for a submachine gun firing 9x19mm ammunition. Over 1 million MP5 variants have been produced and it remains in active service with SWAT teams and special operations units worldwide. Alejandro uses this weapon during both the border crossing shootout and the tunnel infiltration sequence where stealth is critical. Sharp-eyed viewers have noticed a continuity error here. In some non-firing shots, Alejandro's MP5A3 is swapped for an MP5SD3, which is the variant with an integrated suppressor built into the barrel shroud. You can tell them apart because the MP5SD3 has a different selector group marked S, E, F, and an extended stock. This kind of prop swap happens in film production when the hero weapon is unavailable for certain shots, but it is the type of detail that firearms enthusiasts catch immediately on repeat viewings. The Delta Force operators carry a variety of rifles throughout the film. You will see standard M4A1, carbines with various optics configurations, M16, A4 rifles with KAC rails, and AN/PEQ, two laser designators fitted with ACOG scopes and bipods for designated marksman roles, and the compact Heckler & Koch G36C with EOTECH sights for close quarters work. Some of the Delta operators in non-firing scenes carried G and PM4 MOECQBR airsoft replicas dressed with Magpul furniture. You can identify these as airsoft guns by small details, like the A1 style flash hider, and in some frames, a visible red wire running through the handguard. Using airsoft replicas for certain shots is common practice for safety reasons when live weapons are unnecessary. The Delta operators also carry Beretta 92 FS pistols in thigh holsters as secondary weapons. The Beretta 92 FS fires 9x19mm and holds 15+1 rounds in its magazine. This pistol served as the U.S. military's M9 sidearm from 1985 until 2017 when it was replaced by the SIGP 320. Its double and single action mechanism and exposed barrel design make it instantly recognizable. The Cartel weapons tell a different story entirely. While U.S. forces carry precision equipment maintained to exact specifications, the Cartel arsenal reflects the black market reality of Mexican organized crime. ATF estimates suggest around 200,000 illegal firearms cross the U.S.-Mexico border annually, and Sicario's Cartel armory reflects this chaotic mix of sources. Cartel gunmen carry AK pattern rifles, including the AK-MSU, which is a shortened 7.62 by 39mm variant, sometimes called a Krinkov due to its compact size. You see one of these sticking out of a vehicle window during the border shootout. There are also AK-103 rifles, which are a more modern Russian variant with polymer furniture and distinctive waffle pattern magazines. These are likely arsenal clones rather than genuine Russian production rifles based on certain manufacturing details. One of Alarcon's bodyguards carries a shortened AK-MS, a custom cut-down variant that sacrifices accuracy for concealability. For pistols, Cartel members carry a diverse mix of firearms sourced from various channels. One gunman in the border shootout carries a Sig Sauer P226 DAK. The DAK stands for Double Action Kellerman, which is a trigger system that provides a consistent 6.5-pound pull without a decocker. The bobbed hammer makes it faster to draw from concealment. When Manuel Diaz gets pulled over by Alejandro's team, he reaches for an FN57 USG, chambered in 5.7 by 28mm. This Belgian-designed pistol holds 20+1 rounds of ammunition specifically designed to penetrate body armor, which earned it the nickname of Cop Killer in some circles. Its presence here signals that Diaz is connected to serious weapons trafficking networks. One Cartel gunman attempts to draw a Smith & Wesson M76 during the border confrontation. This is a fascinating choice from the armorers. The M76 is a 1967 American clone of the Swedish Carl Gustaf M45 submachine gun. It fires 9mm from a 36-round magazine and operates from an open bolt for rapid automatic fire. Only about 6,000 were ever produced, originally for Vietnam-era special operations. Seeing one in Cartel hands suggests old surplus stock that has been circulating through the black market for decades. For heavy weapons, the Mexican Federal Police escort vehicles mount FN M249E2 SAW light machine guns. This Belgian-designed 5.56mm belt-fed weapon entered U.S. service in 1984 and can fire 200 rounds from a drum magazine at a cyclic rate of up to 1,000 rounds per minute. Firearms experts have noted that the ammunition belt visible on screen appears to be 7.62mm rather than 5.56mm, which is a props department error. The Apaches on the tarmac at the military base are armed with M230 chain guns, the 30 by 113mm electrically driven cannon that Hughes developed in 1975. These fire at 625 rounds per minute and provide devastating aerial fire support. In the opening Chandler raid, a Mossberg 500 Mariner, or possibly a 590 Cruiser, lies on the ground after the shootout ends. This 12-gauge pump-action shotgun features a high-capacity tube magazine and pistol grip for close-quarters use. The Mariner variant has a corrosion-resistant finish designed for marine environments. Mossberg has been producing the 500 series since 1961, and they remain popular with both law enforcement and civilians. The Mexican Federal Police, escorting the convoy through Juarez, carry Colt Model 933 carbines, a shorter 5.56mm variant with an 11.5-inch barrel and 4-position collapsible stock. Their Beretta 92 FS pistols sit in drop-leg holsters. This loadout is accurate for Mexican federal law enforcement of the period and shows the production's commitment to regional accuracy. What makes Sicario special is how the firearms drive the emotional experience of every scene. Every weapon choice tells you something about the character carrying it. Kate's Glock 19 is standard issue, compact, reliable, and unmodified. She is a by-the-book FBI agent who follows protocol and trusts her training. Matt's customized Daniel defense rifle and relaxed handling shows someone who has been doing this long enough to personalize his tools and develop his own methods. Alejandro's progression from the Glock 17 to the suppressed Mark 23 tracks his journey from operative to executioner. The suppressor is not tactical in the climax, it is intimate. He wants to be close enough to see their eyes when he pulls the trigger. The contrast between American precision and cartel improvisation creates visual tension throughout. When Delta operators move in their L-shaped formation with suppressed MP5s, their movements are choreographed and efficient. The cartel gunmen grab whatever's within reach. This asymmetry tells the story of the drug war itself, the overwhelming technical superiority of American forces against opponents who survive through brutality and adaptability rather than equipment advantages. How does Sicario compare to typical Hollywood firearms handling? Most action films get basic things wrong. Characters never reload their weapons. Suppressors make guns whisper quiet. Shotguns send people flying backward 10 feet. Sicario avoids almost all of these common mistakes. The suppressed weapons are still loud, around 130 decibels, which is roughly the volume of a jackhammer. Characters reload when their magazines run dry. The physics of getting shot are portrayed realistically. There are small inaccuracies that experts have caught. The Glock disassembly is wrong. The M249 has the wrong ammunition belt visible. Some scenes use airsoft replicas with telltale details visible in certain frames. One notable critique from tactical experts is that the Delta operators in the tunnel sequence are not wearing infrared patches on their uniforms. In a real night vision environment, this would create serious friendly fire risk because operators could not distinguish each other from hostiles. These are minor issues in a film that gets far more right than wrong. Sicario influenced how tactical sequences are filmed across the industry. The combination of accurate equipment, proper weapons handling, and restraint in the editing room created action scenes that feel genuinely dangerous. Other films have copied the look, the gear, and the movement patterns established here. The sequel Day of the Soldado continued this approach, though it leaned more heavily on overt firepower over the suppressed subtlety that made the original so effective. The legacy of Sicario's weapons work extends beyond entertainment. Military and law enforcement training programs have referenced the film for its accurate portrayal of tactical movement and weapons handling. When Hollywood gets firearms right, it matters for audiences and professionals alike. That covers every major firearm in Sicario. From Glock pistols to suppressed MP5s to mounted machine guns, every weapon was chosen with purpose. If you learned something new today, subscribe to Real Caliber for more breakdowns like this one. We cover the guns that make movie history.